Is your paint shop ripping you off, and do you even know? You send your car to a shop to get it painted, you've sent them a ton of money, you don't know what's going on with your car. Maybe they've had your car for weeks, maybe they've had your car for months, maybe they've had your car for a couple years, and all you know is they have your money and you don't know what's going on. Well, I'm going to show you how Integrity Auto Paint is completely different and why that will never be my shop. How can that not be my shop? Because I hold myself accountable, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it with a weekly settlement sheet that you get every single week with a breakdown of what goes on every day, where your money goes, when your car is worked on, when it's not, how many hours, absolutely everything. And you get this in the form of an email every single week. So when you pull up your email, you will have a attachment. You pull that up, and this is what you're going to see. Right off the rip, I'm going to use a pen instead of my pointer so you can see what I'm pointing at. First thing you're going to see is what week we are on with your car, your name, the dates this week was, which project we have that we're working on. Maybe you've got cars at multiple shops. Maybe you've got multiple cars at my shop. Who knows? You're going to see how many hours your car was worked on, what you were billed per hour, what that amounted to, your total material cost for that week, that week's total, and this space here, maybe when you brought me your car, you brought a deposit, you paid that down. Every single week, you're going to see how much came off of that and your balance forward. If it's a situation where you are paying weekly, you will see this spot will have a balance you owed that will have to be paid within 48 hours of receiving this settlement sheet. This settlement sheet is going to involve a timesheet that I clock in, or whatever employee is working on your car clocks in every day. If they take a break, you're not being charged for that like some shops do. Your total hours for each day, your total hours for the week. You know exactly what was done. And maybe this ain't specific enough. Maybe you're wondering, well, how did they spend, how did Friday they spend 7.5 hours, or why was this day 3 hours? We go into detail without that too. You just scroll on down your email. Every single day, you'll see this sheet is for Monday. If there was work done that Monday, it would tell everything done on your car on this sheet. And there's a sheet for every single day. If you'll notice, on Wednesday, there was no work done. So you don't have a sheet for Wednesday. You're not billed for that day. But each day, you see what happened. Under your daily sheets, you will see your weekly expense sheet. Anything that was purchased for your car that week will be listed. The item bought, kind of where we got it from, and what that item costed, and you will have a total for that week of what was purchased for your car by my shop. If this was a real settlement sheet, you would have receipts all in here showing everything that was purchased. So you're not being ripped off, and my shop is not charging you more than what your part was costing. Sorry if you hear my baby crying in the background. This is reality. I have kids too. Business owner, we also have kids. I've tried to take care of the background noise, so I think we're good now. So if your car is at a shop and it is very unaffordable, or it's not being worked on at all, or you don't know what's going on with it, maybe you might want to give me a call. Hey, maybe I can help you out. Maybe you're in a situation where your shop is charging you $100 an hour or more, or way more, and you're running out of funds, and they keep having to stop on your car because you're just being way overcharged. Yes, I understand, if you're wanting a show car quality paint job, I understand paying $125 an hour for a show car quality paint job, but not everybody wants a show car quality paint job. Some people just want a nice paint job, and maybe they just don't understand that they don't have to pay for a show car quality paint job just because they want their old truck painted. There are good shops still left out here that are painting cars, doing it right, and not ripping you off. Just, you might want to check in, with the shop you're at and make sure you're not getting ripped off. Right now, my rates are pretty low. I don't have any overhead. I own my home, I own my shop. This is something I do because I love doing it, so I work a little cheaper. Yes, my rates are, like I said, very low, but over the next couple months, I plan on raising my rates. Since I started social media stuff, I was very surprised because I've not really advertised to do other people's cars, you know, on social media. It was just kind of a, hey, here's a tip on how to do this. Here's a tip on how to do that. Watch this. I think this is cool. I like teaching people stuff, so I started making videos. And then next thing I know, I'm getting tons of calls, tons of messages, tons of comments about people wanting me to do their car. I guess they see I'm affordable. You can see I'm doing it right because everything I do on your car is pretty much on Facebook for the whole world and all the haters to talk about. So with that being said, now that I feel like maybe my shop's going to start growing, in order for me to actually grow that shop and hire more people to do more projects, because I'm not going to get myself overwhelmed and have people's cars sitting here at my shop that I'm not even touching, because I don't want my shop to be a shop where tons of cars are sitting around and not being touched, and I'm holding on to a bunch of people's money that's just sitting in a safe somewhere, and these people not getting their car back, and they don't have the money either. I don't want to be in that situation. So in order for me to have a bigger shop and hire more people, get your cars back done affordably and quickly, swiftly, in a good manner, I think I'll probably have to raise my rates to it. I'm going to try going to like 45 and see how that does. Probably starting in August. After that, I was already planning to go up in January anyway, but I still don't want to be one of those shops that is ripping people off, charging hundreds of dollars an hour for stuff that should not be charged hundreds of dollars an hour. I know that the skill that I have is worth a lot more than I'm charging, but I also know there's a lot of people out there that love their trucks. They want so bad to have them painted, and I want so bad to put a smile on their faces, but they can't do that because they're being so overly charged that they can't afford to smile and enjoy a beautiful vehicle that maybe their grandpa left them, or maybe that they grew up riding in with their dad. And there's all these stories all the time about people that love their truck, they want it redone, nightmare stories that they're in shops they can't afford, or they don't know why their car's not being touched. I hear horror stories all the time. I would rather help people and build nice trucks than I would overcharge them. So I try to be completely transparent so they can see what's going on. They can go to a shop where they're comfortable. They see everything. I want the stress level to be way down there so you don't even. I want to sleep at night. I want my customers to sleep at night. I don't want a customer mad at me. I don't want to be mad at my customer. I don't want my customer hounding me or driving me crazy. So if I'm driving them crazy, sending them all this information every week, then they're going to know what's going on. They're going to know where their car is at in the process, what they're being charged. They have no reason to be mad at me, to stress out, to worry about their budget, worry if their money is going where it should be going. Everything is black and white. You can see it all, plain as day. So that's the goal of my shop, to be completely transparent. It's called Integrity Auto Paint for a reason. Not only is my sheets on the computer, email, phone, whatever, very transparent, but hey, I've started social media, so if I'm working on your truck, you're going to see YouTube videos, you're going to see TikTok videos, you're going to see Facebook videos, because hey, I don't know what's up with the generation we're living in, but for some reason, everything that somebody does, they want to put it on the internet. And since I've started, going along with the trend, I've had people tell me, hey, you should put it on the internet. back several years ago, I was making some videos, only putting it on my Facebook, and got a lot of attention, a lot of laughs. A lot of people said you should get on, really do social media, and I never did. So this is me trying to do that. I'm not doing this really to get a ton of business, because I don't want a ton of business, but I want quality business, and I want quality clients. Pretty simple breakdown. I want no stress. I want to build nice trucks. I want to enjoy life and build nice trucks, make people happy, make people smile that otherwise couldn't have. Maybe I can help take people out of bad situations in body shops that are screwing them over, ripping them off, making them pay for things they're not even getting. So y'all holler at me. My phone number is in my logo picture, whichever side of the screen that is on. I'm not sure. You click on there, you can see my logo. My phone number's on there. People are figuring it out because they're calling me all the time, but I don't mind people calling me. Hey, you can't get business without phone calls, but please be respectful. Call at proper times, and if you know you're not going to be getting your car done in the next, foreseeable future, please don't waste my time. I don't have time to talk on the phone with you for 45 minutes and then you to tell me, hey, I'm not getting my car done for a year. Like, I don't need to hear about that now. If it's next month, so I understand, but I don't need to hear about all your plans, because who knows what's going to happen in a year, and I don't have time to talk about your year away project. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching.